The US is often considered to be one of the most religious countries in the West. This can make it easy for us to overlook those who do not embrace any particular religion, let alone those who might go so far as to describe themselves as irreligious or atheist. With this list, I present 5 interesting facts that have emerged from sociological studies about atheists in America. The number of Americans who identify as atheists has nearly doubled in the last few years. It's become common for us to hear talk about the rise of the nones, usually along with caveats stating that this doesn't necessarily mean that atheism is on the rise. However, from 2007 to 2014, research data found an increase of 1.6 to 3.1% in those willing to describe themselves as atheist. Of course, this could just mean that more Americans now feel able to publicly and openly express where they stand on this question, which would also be in keeping with our next entry. Americans have been warming up in their feelings towards atheists since 2014. Despite the often cited surveys showing that Americans wouldn't prefer to elect an atheist for president, there has been a 9-point increase in how favorably Americans feel towards atheists. In fact, the percentage of those who wouldn't vote for an atheist has gone down over the last decade. Surprisingly, this increase in acceptance even appears to hold true across political divides, although it may be much less surprising that younger ages are quite a bit more positive in how they think of atheists. It may be worth noting that the one group Americans have not warmed up to almost at all over the last 3 years are evangelical Christians. Atheists are predominantly left-leaning in their politics. Not only do 69% of non-believers call themselves Democrats, but they report very high support for causes like same-sex marriage, environmental legislative protections, legal abortion, and government programs aiding the poor. What's perhaps also interesting is that atheists are one of the few groups in the study that rose in its affiliation with the Democratic Party from 2007 to 2014, along with Black Protestants and Buddhists. 47% of atheists say that growth in immigration is a change for the better, and their response is beat out only by minority religious groups like Muslims and Hindus. The stereotype of atheists as young, white, college-educated males is not so inaccurate. According to the data, 68% of atheists are men, 78% are Caucasians, and 43% have a college degree. The median age of atheist adults in America is 34. These figures are higher than they are among the general U.S. population. On the other hand, atheists have one of the lowest fertility rates in the country, having an average of 1.6 children during their lifetimes. From 2007 to 2014, the racial composition of atheists has actually become more diverse, too, with a decline in the number of Caucasians and an increase in both Asians and Hispanics identifying as atheists. Atheists and agnostics know religion better than most religious groups. A survey on religious knowledge in the U.S. taken in 2010 found that atheists and agnostics got 20.9 questions right on average out of a total 32 questions. Jews and Mormons accounted for second and third place, while white evangelicals, white Catholics, and white mainline Protestants scored much closer to the national average of 16 out of 32. Included in the survey were questions about various world religions, such as their teachings and history, as well as questions about religion in public life and politics. That's our list of 5 interesting facts about atheists in the U.S. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing, as well as perhaps sharing it with others. This channel is the official channel of godlesshaven.com, where you can find more content like this in articles, reviews, podcast episodes, and more, and where you can find how to support us. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/godlesshaven.